Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here. And today we are taking a look at the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek Onyx in that new color, Sand Dune Pearl. I don't think the camera's really doing it justice, nor is this overcast day. Much nicer in person. Now, this is the second highest trim level in the Crosstrek lineup, one under the Limited. How can I tell? Well, you've got yellow fog light surrounds for the LED fog lights and 18-inch black painted alloy wheels. Those are the dead giveaways immediately. We also have those black painted mirror caps to match. So this is the smallest crossover in Subaru's lineup. Powered by a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine producing 180 horsepower. So it's very, very peppy. You still get great ground clearance with it. 8.7 inches. And they ain't half bad on fuel. Now, of course, Subaru has done a ton of cladding on the vehicles, around the wheel wells, around the bottom, up front here, and even the grille. Black plastic. I don't want to say it's cladding, but it's black plastic. It's that honeycomb hexagonal shape. Black metallic painted strips lead into our smaller, more angular LED steering responsive headlights. Ridiculously nice lights at night. Very, very bright. The cladding extends from the front around the wheel well. There are functional vents there. And that continues along the body of the Crosstrek. Now, Subaru gets a lot of flack for the cladding, but it's in high wear areas. So typically areas that are gonna get beat up by rocks, sticks, gravel, road debris. So plastic doesn't rust. That's why they've done that. The Onyx has integrated turn signals in the mirrors, which is nice. Got roof rails as standard. You can't get crossbars if you're gonna carry anything on the roof. Fuel door, rear passenger side, and it's tied to the driver door being locked or unlocked. When the driver door locks, a pin shoots out, locks in the corresponding hole. So when the driver door is locked, the fuel door is locked. When it's unlocked, it's unlocked. The new style taillights, which I'm a huge fan of. I love how they wrap around the car, black and red. And the Onyx has a black strip between the taillights, goes across, the exact same thing. I'm a big fan of that. Of course, you can only see that on the lighter color Crosstreks. The darker colors is not quite as apparent. 426, all of the badging is blacked out on the Crosstreks. They started with the Foresters, they've continued that. The Onyx gets these backup sensors integrated into the rear bumper, and they will actually apply the brakes if things are gonna hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 kilometer an hour and 15 kilometers an hour. So handy for parking lots, but I'm a big fan of this rear 3/4 view. I think it's a great looking car. Amazing to drive, especially with the coming winter. Now, to open it, pretty much right between the stars here, little rubber switch, it unlocks and lifts. And we have a surprisingly large amount of storage room in the Crosstrek behind the second row seats. Tall, wide, and deep. This one just came in, hasn't even been PDI'd yet. We've got the carpet floor mats, the owner's manuals. We've got cup and bottle holders on each side for tailgating. We've got the nice hard mount physical tie downs in the front corners to secure awkward cargo. Halogen cargo light will shut off when I close the hatch. This is the first trim level to come with the privacy cover from factory. It's an accessory for the convenience and the touring, but that's standard on the Onyx and above, and it's telescopic. So if you need to remove it, you totally can. It's easy enough. Underneath the false floor, spare tire and tools, including the eye bolt for recovering other vehicles. We've got this nice little mountain motif with Crosstrek Easter egg there. And if we need additional storage, seats can be folded down. I do this side, but as you can see, that front passenger seat's reclined fairly far. But 60/40 split, you can do one side at a time. Really easy to do. Easy close hatch. The second row, kind of like the storage area, surprisingly large amount of room. You've got great headroom, you've got good leg room, taller people will fit across comfortably. All of the Onyxes have the light and dark gray two-tone cloth upholstery with the yellow bolstering and the Caltrops pattern. Not sure why yellow is the highlight color in the Onyx, but it stands out. Camera's not doing it justice. There's a fold down armrest with integrated cup holders. And if you need it, behind these little flaps, you've got the latch system, the lower anchors and tethers for children. So easy access to people who need those. On the rear of the front passenger seat, we have a map back pocket. And we have illuminated USBs off the back of the center console to keep everyone connected on those longer trips, which is really nice. Now what Subaru's done is they've changed the amount of airbags in the Crosstrek to 10, including side impact in the rear, in addition to the side curtain that drops down. So Subaru's stepping up safety. We've got a textured step here, and the purpose of that is if you're loading something on the roof, that is more centered in the vehicle, and you can get more of your foot on that than on a tire because the tire sits inside the fender. And if I'm standing on the tire and I go straight up here, I'm right here. Roof rails can go as far back as there. Probably gonna end up leaning. They don't want to put you at a precarious situation or angle. Subaru's, again, about safety. I get asked about this black slot on lighter colored Crosstreks, well, lighter colored Subarus in general, more than the darker colors, because it stands out. And that's what this extra side impact crash safety bar locks into. And that's designed to stop intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision. Kind of pairs well with the extra airbags. We have a soft touch armrest with the contrast stitching. Door card is hard touch. Below that, we have a little bit of storage with a bottle holder and of course our power window switch. Child lock is easy to activate and deactivate. And nice solid sounding doors. I don't know if the mic picked that up, but it's solid. It's not tinny. Now we do have a proximity key. Vehicle's running, so it's not gonna do anything. If the key's on your person within 46 inches, simply touch the lines. It'll lock. Right now there's a small beep. I don't know if the mic's picking that up. And to unlock, you just put your hand in the handle and open. Again, with the key within 46 inches. And that leads us to our front door card, where the colorway is pretty much the same, but the door card's soft touch in addition to the armrest being soft touch. All 4 power window controls are up front here. Front 2 are auto, which means they're one touch, one down, one up, and of course you can stop them anyway. Regular power windows for the rear, and you have window lock if you want to stop people from playing with them. Below that, we have a little bit more storage in the back seat, and we've got a slightly more accessible bottle holder. The Onyx is the first trim level to receive a power driver seat in the Crosstrek lineup, including lumbar, and it's the same seating material up front as it is in the second row. More aggressive bolstering, slightly different seating materials on these front 2 seats. They're designed to transmit less vibration and harshness from the road, from the tires through the chassis and into you, so that results in less fatigue and more alert driving. So longer trips, you're gonna be more alert. And we do get the tilt and slide sunroof in the Onyx, and this is the first trim level to get that. Now on the inside here, by the driver's left knee, we have a scroll wheel for the brightness of the gauges. So dim, bright, and your infotainment's the same. We have we do have an 11.6 inch touchscreen infotainment system, but I'll get to that. We have our leather wrap steering wheel, which is also heated in the Onyx. Left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our Bluetooth and audio controls. You can make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music. You can accept calls, hang up calls, issue voice commands, or access Google Assistant or Siri. Switch from AM to FM to USB to Bluetooth and go through presets. Volume is kind of self-explanatory. This toggle used to be volume, but that is now our small little center display. And you can change what screen you want to look at. And it gives you a different piece of info depending on what you want to look at. And of course on the Onyx, we get those yellow rimmed gauges. Now something that Subaru has added to the Onyx, and I'm shutting it off and turning it back on, the EyeSight assist monitor there. So that's those flashing LEDs, and they indicate something different depending what lights are showing. It's just another heads up portion for the EyeSight cameras. So your lane centering, your adaptive cruise, automatic emergency braking, all that. We do also have blind spot detection indicators on each of our side mirrors. So there's that little nub off of the side, and it's going to illuminate like so on the corresponding side when someone's in your blind spot or is going to be in your blind spot momentarily. Pretty handy system. On the back of the steering wheel, paddle shifters, we can manually select your own gears if you'd like to, even with the automatic CVT. And then steering wheel adjustments, both tilt and telescopic, so you can adjust it depending how you like to drive. Now, also new for 2026, Subaru has added the DriverFocus system, previously only found in the limited Crosstrek. So that little red light, that's an infrared camera trying to scan me in. It will tell you if you're paying attention to the road or if you're distracted or drowsy. So you don't have to use it, you can deactivate it. It doesn't particularly like polarized glasses, but it does work well. And then back to our 11.6 inch touchscreen. Of course, it's still got transit plastic on it, so there's a little bit more reflection. So I do apologize about that, but I'm not gonna peel that off yet. But top portion here, we've got access to dual function X mode, which is like 4 low in a pickup. It works at speeds of up to 40 kilometers an hour. Deep snow and mud also turns off traction control to allow you to chew yourself out of the situation you've got into. We've got weather, which is part of your satellite radio trial. We've got widgets, which you can change around depending what you like to see or what info you want. And I always do the same ones because those seem to be the most common ones. And we've got what we're listening to, station or the music playing through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, whatever. Main portion of the screen, we still have physical volume and tuning knobs, which is nice. Got our radio, our media, our phone tiles. Home will always take us here. Media is anything not in the vehicle, Bluetooth, auxiliary, etc. Phone, under apps, access to wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And you do gain access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle is registered in your name. You do get a 3-year trial on all new Subarus with that. Well, nearly all new. There are a couple exceptions. Car info, you can set maintenance reminders, you can look at driving statistics, all really easy stuff. It's pretty easy to navigate. It's all very intuitive. When you put the Crosstrek in reverse, backup camera pops up. We have rear assist braking and parking sensors. Shows you the top of the bumper there so you have something to relate to. And those orange lines move, show you where you're gonna end up if you keep the wheel turned that way. And then my favorite part, you can clean the backup camera from inside the vehicle, which is perfect for the sloppy winters that we experience here. Below that, we've got our home button. We have the ability to disable auto start stop. We've got auto vehicle hold, which is like a brake holder for construction, drive through rush hour traffic. And if you go into the car, you've got all of these driving assistance controls. You can kind of customize it. Like new for 26, emergency lane keep assist. So it's gonna help keep you in your lane. If there's something in your blind spot, you put your turn signal on and you try to change lanes. That is a nice addition. Haven't tested that out for myself yet, but based on all the literature, looks pretty handy. You can hook up to 5 devices in total to the Crosstrek. Only one can actually be connected at once, but 5 in there, and you can set driver profiles if you'd like. Bottom portion, we've got our climate controls. We do have physical buttons behind the plastic, goes up or down in 0.5 degree increments. Or we touch the screen, we can drag, we can click, we can sync it back to driver controlled. Got that choice. Control where you want your airflow being directed, if you want AC, max AC on. And we've got our fan strength buttons that are really hard to miss. Nice, big, easy to use. Below the screen, we've got 2 USBs, an auxiliary, and a wireless charger that you can turn on or off. It is an automatic CVT. I mentioned the paddles on the back of the steering wheel with the manual shifting. Then heated seats, high and low for both the driver and passenger. With the cloth, heats up super quickly. It's nice. When you use the My Subaru app to remote start the car, if you have these clicked on, they will turn on with it. If not, you don't get a warm seat when you walk in until you turn those on. Electronic park brakes are pretty standard now. Now I have to have my foot on the brake when I push down to deactivate it, or it comes up and says, put your foot on the brake, and off it goes. These offset cup holders are easily accessible, and they have drink raisers. So if you have tall drinks or short drinks, you may need to remove this, but it's nice to have. Charging port, 12 volt cigarette lighter plug. There's a little bit of storage in there. It is awkward to access for sure. And then we get a soft touch armrest with a decent amount of storage. Now there is a place to run cords through. There's no power points in there though, which I think is kind of I think Subaru kind of dropped the ball on that personally. Got the black headliner, but it doesn't feel overly claustrophobic in here, especially with the sunroof. We've got our SOS and our roadside assistance buttons. That's part of the My Subaru Connected Services trial. Our sunroof controls tilt and slide. Then this is a manual shade as well. But if you drag the glass back, this will drag back with it. You can't accidentally have the glass open and this closed. Sun visor has vanity mirror with light. And we do have extenders on both of them, which is really nice if the sun's directly at your left or right. Now, I'd mentioned adaptive cruise and lane centering. When you turn on the cruise control, you get an image of the Crosstrek there, and there are 4 bars ahead of it, all the way down to 1. That is the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise. The way you adjust that is you press down, the bars disappear. Press up, they're still there. But 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour results in a follow distance of 150 to 180 feet, so good safe distance. Pair that with lane centering, turn that on, get the little steering wheel in the hands, and above 60 kilometers an hour, when the EyeSight cameras can see the road lines on either side, whether that's one or both, they'll illuminate white instead of gray, and then you will get gentle steering input to keep you centered in your lane. Now this is not hands-free. If you take your hands off the wheel for too long while using it, it's going to kick into emergency brake assist, and that's going to pulse the brakes to try to make you respond, whether you've fallen asleep or you're medically unable to respond. And it will eventually result in the car slowing down to a stop, unlocking all the doors, and if you have a connected services trial, it calls them for help. Ask me how I know. So that is a quick look at the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek Onyx in the Sand Dune Pearl. Hitting lots now. And I think one of the huge advantages to this color is that it is going to stay very, very clean looking. The color hides dirt really, really well. And I think that's going to be one of the reasons that this color does so well, is that you don't have to clean it all the time. So thank you for sticking with me and watching my walkthrough of the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek Onyx. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any questions about this car, anything you saw in the video, questions about Subaru in general, please put them in the comments below. Love hearing from you all. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk soon.